Now, wait a minute. Aren't we forgetting something? Didn't you have a small bag, too?
Oh, I did. I bet I left that in the back seat.
I'll
What was I thinking of? Don't go. Stay. Give me a hug.
Always glad to oblige.
Oh.
Still feeling a little deflated?
A little. This new career of mine, I've had precious little practice with rejection. Don't worry, though. I will toughen up.
You know, wait a minute. You haven't been rejected, Liza. All kinds of people in the music business haven't heard your stuff yet. Dane just needs to introduce you to the people who publish the kind of music you write.
You are a love.
You know, don't go thinking it's husbandly prejudice. Step into my office. Come here.
What?
You good?
Yeah?
Yeah. And you have an advantage most composers don't have.
What?
Your voice.
Oh.
The ability to make what you write sound fantastic. And just look at the face.
Hmm?
I wonder how anyone can concentrate on the music.
Oh, you. I left all this to go knock on doors in cold, heartless New York. I must be crazy.
The part of Brian Emerson is now being played by Jay Acavone.
I didn't wake you up, did I?
No, I don't sleep these days. No surprise, huh?
No, no surprise. But, Brian, you can't stay holed up in here like you're hiding out from the cops or something.
I've been out a couple of times.
But you're still hiding out, and that's not going to solve anything.
Look, Keith, why don't you hold your advice? They're my problems.
Hey, don't come down to me, man. I'm just your buddy, and I don't want you to think things are worse than they are.
What do you mean?
Well, I figured no matter what you decide about Kristen and the baby, you're going to need a job, right? So I came to tell you that Stu is holding your last paycheck.
Yeah, I know. I got to pick that up.
And another thing, if you want a job at the riverboat, I suggest you get over there and tell Stu before he hires somebody else.
Yeah, well, maybe he just better go ahead and hire somebody else then.
What are you saying? You don't want to work for Stu? Hey, take it from me. Stu's about the best boss anybody can work for.
Yeah, I know. He's a great guy and all that, but that's not the point.
Well, then what is the point?
The point is I might not be here. I mean, I lay down, I close my eyes, and I see me gone. Are you getting me, Keith? I'm leaving.
This is Search for Tomorrow.
What are you saying, Brian? You gonna skip town? Run away? Now, that's not you talking.
Well, then I don't know who it is. You could see I'm packed, Keith. Anyway, what's wrong with running?
Okay, how do you think people are gonna feel about you if you run out on Kristen now?
How do you think people are going to feel about me if I stay?
They're gonna think here's a guy who had a problem, made a decision, and solved it. That's it.
Sounds nice and easy, right? Except what's my decision? Marry a girl I don't love, or let her have a baby without me and try to get Susie somehow to,
Understand.
She won't. I know she won't. That woman only sees in black and white. She will never understand. Keith, I was lonely. I mean, I can't tell you how bad it was when I couldn't even get her to listen to me. It was like I had nothing to live for. And then I had to stand back and watch Warren Carter wine and dine her with his big fancy jet and all his money. I mean, you know about the night that I was with Kristen. I tried to go out with Susie that night.
Let me ask you something. What do you think Susie would think of you if you ran out on Kristen now?
That everything she wants to believe about me is true. See, that's the point. She wants to believe that I'm a rotten guy, so it'll be easier for her to shut me out. I mean, it's like I make one mistake and bam, I'm out in the cold.
Brian, it's not that simple. Kristen is pregnant. She's going to have a child.
Hey, Keith, I don't need you telling me what time it is.
I'm sorry, you want me to leave?
No, I don't know what I want. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want Susie.
Do you think you have a chance?
If I thought I had a chance, I wouldn't be leaving.
Okay, where are you going to go? You said something about California. So you want to go to California? You think if you go to California that you're going to find beautiful beaches and sunny skies? That you won't still think of Susie? Huh? Or maybe wonder what your baby looks like? Or miss your sister? Or your friends?
Hey, what are you, a preacher? I mean, really, who wound you up today, man? I'm going.
Hey, forget it! Look, quiet!
I'm sorry this check can't be bigger.
It's okay. I even hate to ask. I know things went all wrong for you with the guns and everything. You didn't straighten it out, did you?
No. No. By the time I got back here, the money had already been reinvested for me. Sort of a take it or take it situation.
Invested in what?
I'd rather you knew as few details as possible. It's better for you that way.
But Warren, I mean, if it's invested somewhere else, it's still your money, isn't it? I mean, you can get it out.
You know, Kristen, it's not like stocks or bonds. But it's the same lousy deal.
Same stuff?
Yeah. Different continent, but same lousy world. And I don't want to do it.
Well, what can you do? Are you just going to throw the money away?
No. I'm afraid that it's beginning to look less and less like I can afford to. Kristen, you know, you heard me before I left for South America. This was going to be my last deal. My absolute last. I was going to come back here. I was going to settle down in Henderson with Susie.
I know. I remember.
Yeah. You know, I even told her about me wanting to buy a horse farm, raising Arabians or something.
What?
No, I know. Detroit street kid, right? Turned gentleman farmer. But she really made me feel like I could do anything. She's very special.
Well, Warren, a lot has changed since then. For everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like I'm going to have to go ahead with this deal, or else I'm going to lose everything. Now, don't you look so sad. I'll work it out. And I'll be able to help you, don't worry.
Warren Carter, I love you. I do. I love you. And I don't want you to have to worry about helping me out anymore. I want today to be the last day that I ask you for a handout.
Kristen.
No, I mean it. Look, if anything good has come of this whole situation, it's that I realize I should not be so dependent on you. It's not fair.
That's fine. That's fine. I always wanted to do it.
I know. But there's no reason anymore, right? I told you. Stephanie has set up a lovely little account, and as soon as I marry Brian, I won't have a worry in the world.
Since when were you so positive?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, your marriage to Brian wasn't really sure. Kristen, what's happened?
Nothing's happened. He's still dragging his feet, but it's just a matter of time. Look, I figure he's beginning to realize that he'll never live it down if he doesn't do right by me, even in front of his precious Susie. He's going to marry me, Warren. He's not going to run out on me.
I am so glad to be home.
And I'm glad to hear it. But I don't want you to go change your plans because of some minor setback. You're going to go back to New York and try again, right?
You bet I am. And I won't be happy until I have a recording contract. Gonna prove the fact that Liza Centel isn't someone who just trots out an occasional song for a party.
No, you don't have to prove anything to me or anyone else, Liza.
Oh, maybe your father.
Oh, come on.
I am serious. I don't want him thinking I'm an empty-headed dilettante. I think maybe a contract with a major recording company just might do the trick. Don't you?
I hardly think that my father cares one way or the other about you proving yourself, Liza. He thinks you're a tremendous talent.
That's what he says to you.
And he means it.
Well, he insinuates just the opposite to me.
Insinuates? Liza, you're misinterpreting.
Why is it that everything he says to you is just fine, but whatever I say isn't?
Darling, we've gone over this before.
Yes, we have. And I still don't understand why you don't believe me.
Look, this is not going to get us anywhere, and I don't want to fight with you right now. So I'm going to go out to the car and get the other bag.
Martin's not here yet.
No, but I think you're a few minutes early. Stu didn't plan to be back till about 11. You'll be here by then.
Well, I suppose I could be accused of jumping the gun. But to tell you the truth, Joe, I haven't been this excited about a business proposition in some time. I can't wait to get the paperwork done so I can get down to the renovations.
Well, we're looking forward to it, too.
It's nice when things work out this way, isn't it?
Hey, that's a benevolent attitude for a man who pretends to have lived such a ruthless life. You sure you were really a spy all those years?
You've discovered my secret. I made it all up so I would appear glamorous and exciting.
I have wondered. I mean, you've done so much for so many people since you've been here. Gave all that money to the charity. You saved Jenny's life. And the way you tried to help Susie and Brian and Warren Carter. Well, it's quite a list.
Well, I only did what any other man in my position would have done. I had some contacts, I used them.
No, you did more than that. You acted as if those people were as dear to you as they are to us. The truth is you hardly knew him. You hadn't even met Warren, had you?
Oh, well, matter of fact, I met Warren Carter at the charity ball.
He is still not the man you'd call a friend.
Ah, here they are. Right on time. You have the papers, Stu?
Yeah, right here, Rusty. Rusty, I think the first thing you ought to do is thank Stu and Joanne for the opportunity of moving the club over here.
You're welcome.
I was snooping around down below just before I came up here, and every time I look at that place, I realize how perfect it is for our needs. You know, Rusty, those moldings down there are in a lot better shape than I thought they were. A little bit of dark stain.
Aha, they've been incorporated into the overall plan. What wood that can be saved will be saved.
What's that?
Well, you didn't think we'd try to accomplish major renovations like this without the advice of an architect, did you?
Joe, I think we're about to be shown how the job should have been done.
Nonsense. You and Joe performed a minor miracle by the sweat of your brow. Martin and I, we don't have that kind of time. We want to get the club back on its feet as soon as possible.
Of course, it's just that I had no idea you'd already had plans drawn up.
Oh, Martin, it's nothing to worry about. It's in keeping with everything we've discussed about the decor. Here, take a look. You won't be disappointed.
Well, I'm sure it'll be just fine. Of course, I want to go over it in detail as soon as we finish the legalities. I want to be sure what we're getting into.
Well, I'm sure Rusty would never hire a contractor without your approval.
Of course not. Martin, I hope you don't take forever making a decision about this. We can't approach this from a leisurely Southern fashion. Less talk and more work that's what's going to make this club work. Stu? Mm-hmm. Here, look at this. This is where the wall is going to come down. And here, the gaming room will start. And we'll probably save all of this in here.
Painless. Martin, you got your copies?
Yes, Rusty said he'd put them in the files.
You don't have to rush off just because he did. How about some coffee?
Well, yes, that'd be very nice.
Oh, I'll get it.
When do you think you'll actually start construction?
Well, if Rusty has his way, probably tomorrow.
He does like to work full speed ahead, doesn't he?
Oh, it's just a form of showing off. He likes to get the jump on everyone. He's always been that way.
Think that might make your partnership a little lopsided?
No, not necessarily. I just have to be a little more vigilant is all. Figure out what he's planning before he gets a chance to spring it on me like he did with those plans today.
I think what Joe means, Martin, is that since this club was your baby originally, that you should have the deciding vote on how it's to be run. That's only fair.
Oh, don't worry. I made that very clear to Rusty before I agreed to let him come in on this thing with me. He swore up and down that once the rebuilding was done, I'd be the one to run things. At that point, he'd just be a silent partner collecting his share of the profits.
I don't think Rusty Centel is a man who likes to be silent.
Well, nobody knows that better than I do, Joanne. I'll be on the lookout. He wants to make a lot of noise about the rebuilding. That's fine. Let him hire all the architects and the builders and whatnot and boss them around. But once that sign goes up and we're open for business, it's my club. And I'm not going to let anybody interfere with that.
What makes you think my answer is going to be any different from what it was the other day?
Because grim reality has raised its ugly head. Because the wolves are howling at your door, and because you don't like being broke.
I'm not broke.
Carter, I'm not talking about money enough to get you through to the end of the month. I'm talking about tens of thousands of dollars just waiting for us in Africa for the right moment.
When does this deal go down?
A couple of weeks, no more.
What would I do for money till then?
Now there is a question I can relate to. Consider it part of a down payment to what's owed you. Wonderful. I'm very pleased, and you will be too once you get over this idea of retiring. You're much too young to give up what you do best, and much too practical. Welcome back.
Hey, big guy.
All right, Brian.
You want some help?
No, I... It's nice to see you again, Brian.
Good to see you, too, Stu. I've been meaning to stop by before this.
Oh, listen, you had to have a couple of days rest, time to think things through since you got back.
Yeah, but still, you know, I should have stopped by sooner. Listen, Keith was telling me you're holding a paycheck for me.
Oh, yeah, I got it right here.
Yeah, plus, you know, I never said anything to you whether I was going to keep working here or not. And, well, I guess I kept everybody kind of hanging in the air, you know?
Well, I think you had a pretty good excuse, don't you? Let's see, you were in a plane that crashed in the jungle. You spent 30-some-odd days trying to stay alive. And you needed a couple of days rest, so you were a little late for work. Boss has to accept some excuses, doesn't he?
Never lose that sense of humor, do you, Stu?
Try not to. Welcome back.
Thanks.
That is, if you're staying. Are you?
I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I think I don't even know what to think anymore. I guess you heard about Kristen, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry things surprised everybody the way they did.
Yeah, Susie and I finally got back together. I loved her, she loved me. Then we came back from the jungle.
And then there was Kristen.
That's right.
So, when you say you're not sure if you're staying, you don't just mean staying on here at the river log, right?
I don't know, Stu. What if I just took off? I mean, would that be the wrong thing to do?
Well, that depends, Brian.
On what?
On whether you've had time to think things through.
Are you kidding? That's all I've done is think about it ever since I found out.
Yeah, but have you thought about the people involved?
Well, sure. Me, Kristen, Susie.
Nobody else?
Oh, the baby.
Right, the baby. Brian, I know it's hard to think about someone you haven't even seen yet, but it does have to be considered. And how about where you'll go, how you'll live, how you'll keep in touch, things like that?
I don't know, Stu. I just keep thinking California, you know?
Well, I always used to think Hawaii when I was scared and wanted to run. That's before it got so crowded, not to mention expensive.
But you never just tried it, huh? You never just took off?
No, I didn't. That was just a dream. And when you have to live 24 hours a day, Brian, I'm afraid dreams aren't good enough.
Oh, Travis. Oh, Liza, I didn't expect to see you two here.
Well, Liza and Dan got back from New York earlier than they expected. Picked him up a couple hours ago.
Well, how did it go? Travis told me yesterday you had a little disappointment.
A little. Certainly nothing to stop me, however. I played my music for some people, and no one suggested I make a beeline for the recording studio. So I thought it best if I come back and rework my material before I try again.
Spoken like a true professional. Well, maybe it wasn't your fault at all. I mean, who were these people that Taylor introduced you to? Maybe they don't have the same taste in music as you.
They listened very courteously. I just wasn't what they had in mind.
Well, I'm glad you're not discouraged. I don't know much about the music business, but I understand a great deal of luck is involved. So, we shall consider this a minor setback, shall we?
You know, I think I'll check on lunch so you can get back to work, darling. Excuse me?
Certainly. Ah, she's a little bit more disappointed than she lets on, isn't she?
Well, I think she hoped for more positive results, but she's not unfamiliar with the pitfalls of the business. Would you like something to drink before lunch? Sherry, perhaps?
No, thank you. I have a few phone calls to make. Airlines reservations, for one.
Really? Where are you going?
Washington. I renewed some old acquaintances while I was organizing that search party. So I thought I'd drop down and talk to a few old cronies.
That sounds like fun. When are you leaving?
Well, tomorrow. I'll only be gone a few days. Be back before you know it.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Lunch is served.
Be right with you. You coming?
Well, no, I want to make those phone calls first. I'll be right in, Liza. Yes, I'd like to make an airline reservation on an early morning flight from Henderson to New York. Yes, that's right, New York City.